All right, good afternoon, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good to see everyone. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I am Judge Melanie Williams. This calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of the case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at these particular proceedings. To all participants here, I want to advise you that this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. That means that any member of the public can log on and watch this proceeding. It is also being recorded. All right, who do we have first?
Number one.
All right. Are you Francis Anderson?
Yes.
All right.
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm Dennis Scheib. I'm her lawyer.
All right. All right. Ms. Anderson, do you understand those constitutional rights that I just explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I appreciate that. Before I begin, Mr. Howard, are you present? Can I have the history, please?
Fifth arrest. Last arrest was on the 16th of this month for window tint. She went to the city jail for that.
Okay.
Before that was 08 simple battery dismissed. She don't have any more violence. Well, hold on. I'm sorry. She had 06 reckless conduct, conspiracy to commit a felony, which was ag assault. That was a conviction. That's
Okay.
it.
You said 2006?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
If I may just ask, was that 2006, was that dismissed?
It was a conviction.
Okay, a first offender?
No, just guilty. Hold on.
You don't know?
No, just guilty. It just says guilty, probation 5 years. So that would have ended in 2013 because it was sentenced in 08 out of Clayton County.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thank you. Thank you. We'll come back to that. Whose case is this for the state?
This is Assistant Solicitor Tortorello's case, Your Honor.
Oh, good to see you, Ms. Tortorella. It's been quite some time. What is the state's recommendation?
For the battery, substantial physical harm is a $10,000 good bond. The conditions is that she have no contact with the victim, and the victim's name is Charmonique Peterson. Her first name is spelled C-H-A-R, M as in Mary, A-U-N as in Nancy, I-Q-U-E. For the defendant to stay away from the victim's residence at 360 Far Road Northeast, apartment 430, Atlanta, Georgia. For the defendant to take a one-day anger management class, to continue any MH treatment, no drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, is there any way I could break out with the opposing counsel, yourself, and Deputy Falk? Some of the things I'm gonna talk about are some MH concerns.
All right. Before we do that, I didn't read Ms. Anderson her case number. Ms. Anderson, your case number is 22 CR 003971E, in which you are charged with battery substantial physical harm with the offense date of May the 20th of 2022. All right. If we could be placed in that breakout, Mr. Jordan, I would appreciate it. That would be me. I believe her attorney, Ms. Tortorella, Ms. Falk. Is there anyone else that needs to be in this breakout? I don't think so. All right.
the person that's listed underneath Saint Strawler, I can't look at the name. Can you change the name to who you're supposed to be? So we can recognize you on the Zoom link. And if you are in a bedroom, can you please leave the bedroom and go to a setting where it's appropriate for court?
What was the name again?
I'm speaking to you, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
What is your name so you can, for it to be addressed appropriately in court?
Centressa Elder.
And are you in your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, is there any way that you can be in in an area where you will be appropriate for court instead of sitting in the bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how you spell your first name so I can change it on the system?
It should be on the system. It's Centressa Elder. I see it right here. I see my name.
Okay, it must be a long name. Okay, I see it now.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, at this time, I am going to sound for Sharmonique Peterson. If Ms. Sharmonique Peterson is present on this Zoom conference and would like to make a statement, this is your opportunity to do so. Is there a Ms. Sharmonique Peterson? All right. At this time, Ms. Anderson is going to receive a $10,000 surety bond. She is to have no contact with the victim, Ms. Sharmonique Peterson. She must stay away from the incident location at 360 Far Road Northeast. She is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond, and she must comply with any recommended and prescribed treatment. Ms. Anderson, I'm going to make this very clear to you. You are to have absolutely no contact with Ms. Peterson. That means by Facebook, text, any form of social media. You are not to contact her at all. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I don't want to hear that. I've received some information that you may have had contact with her since that date. That is not permitted. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I believe that will conclude this case. Is there anything further from Mr. Scheib or Ms. Tortorello?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Scheib, if that, oh, you're speaking, but you're muted.
I'm using Judge Kavanaugh's computer. I'm not very computer savvy. Nothing else. Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, and if that concludes your business, Mr. Scheib, you can be excused. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye.
All right,
Bye, guys.
couple questions for the jail before we go to the next position. Are the, can someone at the jail inform me which cases will be medically reset today?
Yes, Judge. We have quite a few.
Okay,
It'll be position, let me start from the beginning of the calendar. Position 2, Andrews, medical
Okay.
reset.
okay,
Position 13, also 14, 16, 18, and also 23 and 24, they're the same person. Mr. Ward,
all right,
that's it for the medical resets, Judge.
all right. Has the
Your Honor.
public defender's office waived appearance for any of those people? Is there anyone from the public, Ms. Gant or Ms. Kim? Have
No,
you all
Your
waived
Honor.
appearance? No one, none of those are waived. All right, so those will actually not be taken up today. I heard someone else.
Also,
speaking.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I have a message that position number 3 is a medical reset.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Yes, Your Honor. I placed notes in the chat about positions 3, 13, and 14 being medically reset.
All right.
No, that's gonna be, I'm sorry, that's actually gonna be done today. It's not gonna be a medical reset.
Which position?
Position 3, Ms. Banks?
Okay, then I will need to have time to interview Ms. Banks.
And Your Honor,
Send her out to do that.
if I may, the state has an announcement for position
Is it 20?
16.
Oh, okay, okay, the announcement for 16, yes,
Would the court be willing to take that now?
yes, go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the state has transferred this case to the DA's office, and I have the order prepared for Your Honor. Who would you like me to send it to?
You can send it to Ms. Bridgewater. It's been properly transferred and accepted.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so that case will not be held before me at any rate today. All right.
All right.
And position 27, I believe, is being now processed. All right, who do we have next? Oh, and I'm sorry, last question. There, I know that there is a request for a breakout for position 7. I'd like to try to take the breakouts all together so we can move those fast if possible. I have an announcement from the state that they're requesting a breakout for position 7.
17, Your Honor.
7 and 17. Okay, and is the defense requesting breakouts? Ms. Gant or Ms. Kim?
I am not requesting any breakouts for my positions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gant. Ms. Kim, are you requesting any breakouts?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the breakouts just take us they take a significant amount of time to coordinate. I'd like to try to get that out the way. Is it possible for us to take position 7 at the jail? I'm trying to get us out before we're, here.
Okay,
Really late.
you can have a seat over here. Position 7 is Mr. Clark. Clark, Travis, where's Clark?
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Clark. Your case is 22 CR 0039766C, in which you're charged with battery with the offense date of June the 21st of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
I didn't have the charges.
The charge is battery. Do you understand your rights as it pertains to this hearing today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Can we be placed in a breakout again? It would be Ms. Tortorello, Ms. Falk, I believe Ms. Gant and Ms. Kim, as well as Ms. Holly with me. Oh, before we go on,
State court, I don't need to be in that particular breakout room. I'm for position 17, so I came back.
No problem.
All right, Mr. Howard, are you present? Will you please give us the history just for the record?
Who we on?
Number 7, Mr. Clark.
19 total. Last arrest was in April, probation violation. On probation for criminal damage to property, 2nd degree. (2020) felony obstruction, arrest out of DeKalb County. 2019 simple battery conviction. 2019 probation violation. 2019 trespass conviction. 2018 trespass conviction. 2018 shoplifting, simple assault arrest. 2018 trespass conviction. 2018 disorderly conduct conviction. You want more?
No, that's good. Thank you. At this time, Mr. Clark is going to receive a $7,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Asensio. He must stay away from the incident location on Lejeune Drive in South Fulton, Georgia. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond, and he is to undergo a BHET. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense as it pertains to this case?
Nothing further from the defense.
Your Honor, what are those acronyms again?
Behavioral health.
Thank you.
I was trying to avoid saying it, but yes. All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Clark. Who do we have next?
Judge, if you like, we can do position 11 and 12. At the same time, they're co-defendants. Position 12 is here in courtroom 2, and position 11 is in courtroom 3. They're co-defendants.
Your Honor, would you, my apologies, would you like to get the other breakout room out of the way?
Let's do this one. They're already here since they're co-defendants, and then after we do these positions, can we go to position 17? All right, I'm gonna go with position 11. This is case number 22 CR 003989F. And are you Deaja Jefferson Hill? Is that how I say that?
Deaja Jefferson Hill.
Deaja Jefferson Hill. All right. And you're charged with 1 count of simple battery and affray with the offense date of June the 21st of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr.
Yes.
Howard.
First arrest.
Mute their mic.
First arrest.
All right, thank you. Whose case is this, Ms. Tortorello?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me pull up their case. Quick, well, just want to let you know, Your Honor, Mr. Defendant Beck, he's also a co-defendant in this case. So there's 3.
Okay, so we need to go to Mr. Beck following these 2 if possible.
Yes, Your Honor. So is this Mr. Kedrick Beck? I'm sorry, Mr. Is it Deaja Jefferson Hill, or is
Yes,
it?
yes.
I'm sorry, Judge, to mention, I forgot to mention, we also have their parents here for position 11 and 12.
Okay, thank you.
So, Your Honor, for the battery, the state's recommending a $3,000 unsecured judicial release. For the affray, a $2,000 unsecured judicial release, a total bond of $5,000. Conditions is that the defendant have no contact with co-defendant, cross-defendant Kedrick Beck, that she stay away from 925 Virginia Avenue in Atlanta. 1 day anger management, no drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on June 21st, 2022, an officer M. Martinez of the Hateville Police Department responded to a disturbance inside the Dunkin' Donuts at 925 Virginia Avenue in Atlanta. Upon arrival, the officer learned that the defendant, Miss Deaja Jefferson Hill, and cross-defendant Kedrick Beck were involved in a fight and were sent home for the rest of the day. The officer was able to watch video footage which showed the cross defendant, Mr. Beck, and Ms. Jefferson Hill arguing in the sandwich section of the establishment. The
Before you
Mr.
continue,
Beck?
Ms. Tortorella, are they alleged to be employees of the Dunkin' Donuts?
I'm not, it's not very clear.
It's
from the
not clear.
They are,
Okay.
Your Honor. They are
Okay.
employees or
They're
were.
employees of the Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
That is
Quite
correct.
sad. That's my favorite Dunkin' Donuts. I'm there every day. All right, let's keep going.
I'm sorry. So the officer watched the video footage, which showed Miss Jefferson Hill and Mr. Beck arguing in the sandwich section of the establishment. Mr. Beck left and came back to the station where Miss Jefferson Hill was located, and both parties approached each other. Miss Jefferson Hill pushed Mr. Beck, and Mr. Beck pushed her back. Miss Jefferson Hill attempted to push and strike Mr. Beck, and Mr. Beck began to strike Miss Jefferson Hill with a closed fist. And Miss Jefferson Hill was arrested, and the events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, due to the fact of basically a lack of criminal history, we are recommending that UJR bond of a total of $5,000. Nothing further.
All right, and you are requesting to stay away. Has the establishment requested them? I'm sure they were in there fighting. I just wanted to clarify that. Ms. McLeod, you represent this defendant?
I do, Your Honor.
It's good to see you. Do you know whether or not their employment has been terminated?
I do not know that. My client does not know that either, Your Honor, but I believe the prosecutor said they were sent home for the day.
Okay.
So that does not suggest that the employment has been terminated.
All right, Miss. And other than that, do you have any objections to the $5,000 signature bond through pretrial, Ms.
No,
McLeod?
Your Honor, I do not.
All right, at this time, the defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond as broken down by the state, $3,000 for count 1, $2,000 for count 2, for a total of the $5,000 signature through pretrial services. She is to have no contact with the cross defendant Bex in this case, and she must stay away from the business at 925 Virginia Avenue if she's no longer employed there. If she's still employed there, she may return to that location.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, do you understand that, Ms. Jefferson Hill? I like you to unmute her. You can only go back to that location if you are employed there and only for your scheduled shift. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, other than that, you'll receive a signature bond and you should be released. All right? All right, best of luck to you. All right, now we're gonna go to position 12, Traquan Jefferson Hill, case number 22 CR 003990F, in which you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of June the 21st of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard?
First.
All right. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. So we are recommending for the battery a $4,000 unsecured judicial release.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry,
This
this
is the one criminal trespass only, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I apologize. My notes were wrong. So for the criminal trespass, we're just recommending a $5,000 unsecured judicial release. No contact with the co-defendant, Kedrick Beck, to stay away from 925 Virginia Avenue in Atlanta. My understanding is that this defendant does not work there.
What was this defendant's alleged role in this?
He's her brother, Your Honor.
Your Honor, so what occurred here on June 21st, 2022, the co-defendant, Miss Jefferson Hill, called her brother, defendant Traquan Jefferson Hill, who came to the incident location and jumped over the counter in an attempt to commit a fray, participate in the fight. So that's what occurred here. And that's his participation in the, so the victim really is the Dunkin' Donuts. So he needs to stay away from Dunkin' Donuts at that location, but we also are asking for him to have no contact with the co-defendant, Kedrick Beck.
Okay, so he doesn't work there.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Ms. McLeod, this is your client as well?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. My client is
Interesting.
22 years old. He has a college degree. He works as a veterinarian assistant. And he's currently working for Amazon, he tells me. He was there, Your Honor, because the family received a phone call from his younger sister, she's only 19, saying that she had been attacked by a man at her job. So they went down there. And as you've heard from the prosecutor, his younger sister had been attacked by this male, and he was just trying to defend her. So that was his role in that, Your Honor. He's never been arrested before.
All right, I think I have understanding. You have an objection to the signature by Ms. McLeod?
I do not, Your Honor.
All
Although I think
right.
it's a bit high, but since it's a signature bond,
All right.
done.
At this time, the defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to have no contact with the cross-defendant, last name Beck. And because he does not have any tie that I can ascertain to that Dunkin' Donuts other than his sister's employment, he must stay away from the Dunkin' Donuts on 925 Virginia Avenue in Hapeville. All right, is there
Thank you,
anything
Your
further?
Your
there's
Honor, what about, I'm sorry, what about no drugs or alcohol, no weapons?
Yes, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol is a condition of this bond as well. All right, anything further?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Okay, best
Nothing
of luck
further,
to
Your
you,
Honor.
sir. Best of luck to you, sir. You're gonna get a signature bond as well. Can we go to Mr. Beck at this time?
This is Mr. Beck, position 4.
All right, Mr. Beck, your case number is 22 CR 003975F, and what you're charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of affray with the offense date of June 21st of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard,
It's his first adult arrest.
all right. And recommended, correct?
Correct.
All right, Ms. Tortorella.
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for the battery charge, a $3,000 unsecured judicial release. For the affray, a $2,000 unsecured judicial release, a total of $5,000 unsecured judicial release bond. No contact with the cross defendant. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce
With
it.
the
Yaja Jefferson.
I've got it.
And to stay away from 925 Virginia Avenue in Atlanta unless he works there still. And 1 day anger management, no drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, just to clarify for the record, the state didn't state that Miss Jefferson Hill was attacked. What we did state was that the video footage did show that the defendant, Mr. Beck, left and came back to the station where Miss Jefferson Hill was at. Both parties approached each other. Miss Jefferson Hill pushed the defendant, and the defendant pushed her back. Miss Jefferson Hill attempted to push and strike the defendant, and the defendant began to strike Miss Jefferson Hill with a closed fist. So I just want to clarify that for the record.
I think I've got a good hold on what happened. I think
Yes,
I've
Your
got
Honor.
it. All right. All right. Ms. McLeod, this is your case as well?
No, Your Honor.
No, I didn't think so. Whose case is this? Is this Ms. Gant?
This is actually Mrs. Gant, but she's interviewing.
Oh,
right
she's conducting interviews. That's not ideal. So she's missed this. I'm assuming it was Ms. Kim. All right.
Did you want to hold off on this case and just do Miss Kim's client?
I don't think we're gonna have a choice. Unless Ms. Kim is able to represent him, which I doubt she is. All right.
All right, position 15, Mr. Nolan.
All right. Just to be sure, Ms. Kim, this is your client?
Yes,
What was the
please, ma'am.
position number again, ma'am?
Position 15.
Nolan.
Actually, can we do the breakout position 17?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Position 17.
Last name, I think is Pamphil or Pamphil.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to switch you out again.
I
I'm sorry.
represent him, Your Honor.
All right. And this is our last breakout case, correct?
Yes.
All right. All right, if I could be placed in a breakout, Ms. Lewis, with Ms. McLeod, Ms. Duncan, Ms. Falk, and I don't have any objection to Ms. Kim joining if she'd like to take part, and of course, Ms. Holly.
Your Honor, can I be included? I'm the victim.
Not at this time, sir, but we will see if that's necessary, all right? I will let you speak, though.
Thank you.
like to be invited. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Penfield, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I apologize. I would like to sound for you and give you the opportunity to speak if you'd like to make a statement, but I'm going to ask that you not mention any health or sensitive conditions as part of your statements, all right? Do you wish to make a statement at this time?
Understood, yes, and you did pronounce
Wait.
my name correctly.
Before you begin, I have to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
All right. What would you like to tell the court at this time?
Okay, so you said I cannot mention.
I'm aware of the situation. Please don't mention those. This is a public hearing.
Okay. Well, basically, like I said, being the victim and also the defendant's father, basically, I was just gonna make a plea on his behalf that he do receive the help he needs based on his situation. He's been incarcerated in the past and was on track to receive that help that he need. But unfortunately, after 14 months of being incarcerated, the prosecutor had dismissed the case, although he was close on list to be placed in the required facility that would help him. Because at this point, his family, all of us, we've tried throughout the years, and it's been at least 8 years ongoing, and it's out of our hands. We, as family members, we cannot provide the help that he needs. So that's my plea to the court, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $4,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Penfield, as a condition of this bond, and he must stay away from 103 Wells Street Southwest. He is to undergo an MHET and follow any recommended treatment, and he is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition of this bond.
And the address is 1103, ma'am.
Oh, 1103, I apologize, 1103. Is there anything further from either the state of the defense? And I'm not sure that I said this earlier, to all defendants who receive a surety or cash bond today, your case will be reset to the SAP calendar on July the 5th of 2022, whereby this can be revisited at that time.
Nothing further from the state.
Anything, Ms. McLeod? Okay, you're saying no, but you're muted, so we'll keep going. No, you said nothing further.
Come on, Mr. Nolan.
All right, thank you.
I got this. Thank you.
All right, I believe we're done with all the breakouts, so we can take whichever case at courtroom 2.
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Gant is back. If you want to go back, circle back to address.
Oh, Mr. Bex, poor
Bex.
Mr. Nolan keeps coming before me. Has Ms. Gant returned?
Yes, Your Honor. And also, Your Honor, I did have the occasion to interview position 3, Banks, and I did submit a waiver to the court.
Okay. All right, can we go back to Mr. Bex? I'm sorry, position. Can we go to position 4 at courtroom 2, since we were almost finished with that one?
All right.
Thank you for your patience.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nolan,
Mr. Nolan, I'm sorry as well. I apologize. We're just trying to, Miss Gant, I'm not sure if you're aware of what was happening. I apologize. I was not aware that you were on the phone when we were handling position 4, but the state recommended a $5,000 signature bond, and that your client not be permitted to return to that Dunkin' Donuts if he was not employed there. Do you have any objection to that at this time? Would you like to put on your case at this time?
No objections. We accept the conditions. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, Mr. Beck is going to receive a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to have no contact with the cross defendant. In this case, that means that they must work different shifts if still employed at that Dunkin' Donuts. You can return to Dunkin' Donuts only if you still have a job there. Do you understand that, Mr. Beck?
Ma'am.
All right, and you are to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything from either Ms. Gant or Ms. Tortorella as it pertains to Mr. Beck's case?
Judge, will you break down that bond? He has 2
Yes,
charges.
$3,000 for count one, $2,000 for count two, for the total of $5,000 as recommended by the state.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Beck. That concludes your case.
Position number 8.
I'm sorry, I can't hear. There's a alert. Which position are we going to?
Position number 8.
Oh, I really can't hear. I'm sorry. Position, you said position 8?
That's what she said, Judge, 8.
8. Okay, it's just hard to hear. All right.
I'm sorry, number 8.
Okay. Good afternoon. Your case number is 22 CR 0039778G, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery against a pregnant female, 1 count of battery family violence, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, each with the offense dates of October the 3rd of 2021. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard,
Hold on real quick.
I see this is her
No,
first.
hold on. No, it's a second.
Okay.
She had a 2020 possession of a controlled substance that was non-processed in Virginia. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Tortorello.
Yes,
What
Your
is the
Honor.
defendant's name? I'm sorry.
Brianna Evans,
Yes. that's
position
it.
8.
That's my client.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes, please do.
For the battery, charge a $4,500 surety bond. Conditions is that she have no contact with the victim's Kalisha Evans. The first name is spelled K-A-L as in log E-S-H-A. And no contact with the juvenile victim T-S. For her to stay away from the incident location at 7335 Thoreau Circle in Atlanta. And the street name is spelled T-H-O-R-E-A-U. For a 1-day anger management class, no drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on October 3rd, 2022, Officer Alves of the South Fulton Police Department responded to 7335 Thoreau Circle in reference to a fight. Officer spoke to the victim, Kalisha Evans, who said her sister, defendant Brianna Evans, struck her multiple times in the face with a closed fist. Ms. Evans said her 10-year-old daughter, initials TS, witnessed the battery. All parties live together and Ms. Evans is pregnant. Ms. Evans advised that she and the defendant had an argument the day before, and on the incident date, defendant arrived at the residence intoxicated and they began to argue. After the defendant struck Ms. Evans, she left in her vehicle, a white Nissan Altima. The defendant was eventually arrested, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, we also are not opposed to a unsecured judicial release, but we'll leave that up to you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Okay, and you said it was 4,500. Will you break it down for me again, Ms. Tortorella, your recommendation?
Yes, it would be a $4,500. I'm sorry. Goodness gracious. All right, so for the battery family violence, I would say it would be $2,000 for the battery family violence. For the battery on a pregnant female, a $2,000 bond. And for the cruelty to children, 3rd degree, it would be $500.
All right, thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 22 years old. She is gainfully employed. She has a high school diploma, and she is a lifelong resident of the Metro Atlanta area. This incident happened last year, Your Honor, I believe in October, and there has been no contact between my client and her sister since. She tells me that her mom was babysitting. My client does have a 1-year-old child. She tells me her mom was babysitting her child, and for some reason she had taken the child, the mom, over to her sister's house, and her sister got a little upset and started arguing and texting to her. So she just went by to collect her belongings, some of which were over there, some of the stuff for her baby. She was not intoxicated at all. And her sister attacked her, and she was merely defending herself. They do not speak anymore, and they do not live in the same place. not since the incident happened, Your Honor. My client does have her 1-year-old that she takes care of, so I would ask the court to give her a signature bond, a low one, because she has responsibilities and the incident is fairly old and there is no contact between the parties and no need for contact.
All right, at this time, the defendant is going to receive a $4,500 signature bond through pretrial services. She is to take the 1-day anger awareness course. The bond is broken down as follows: 2,000 count 1, 2,000 count 2, 500 for count 3 for the total of the 4,500. She is to have no further contact with the victim's last name Evans and T.S., a minor. She is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, and she is to stay away from the incident location. Is there anything further as it pertains to the case?
Nothing
No,
further
Your
from the
Honor.
state, Your Honor.
All right,
I
best
wanted
of
to
luck.
make a statement.
Ms. Evans,
No,
I do not
don't say
recommend that.
anything. You have gotten your bond. You've gotten a signature bond. This is not the trial. My advice to you is not to say anything.
Please listen to Ms. McLeod. Anything you say will be used against you and not in a good way, all right?
Did you
Please
say anger
call Ms.
awareness?
Please, yes, I said anger awareness. Please call Ms. McLeod following this proceeding, all right, Ms. Evans?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, who do we have next?
Got position 10.
All right, good afternoon. Are you Michelle Galvin?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, your case number is 22 CR 003977F, and what you're charged with theft by taking with the offense date of June the 20th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right. Mr.
15th
Howard,
arrest,
you said 15th?
10th.
Oh, 10th, okay.
2013 was the last probation violation, not prosecuted. 2012, same thing. And 2008 probation violation. Everything else is like real old.
All right. All right, Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Judge, in addition to what pretrial stated, I did see a notice in the GCIC that this defendant is wanted for larceny out of Palmetto as well. In this case, particularly happened yesterday. Officers were contacted by Miss Arlene Carroll, who is a witness in this case. She met with officers and she let them know that the defendant in this case, Miss Galvin, had taken lottery tickets in the sum total of about $160 without paying for them. She works at this BP gas station, which is the incident location, which is located at 9165 Roosevelt Highway. She said that she observed the lottery ticket holder was low, so she checked the camera to see what was going on, and she saw on camera that her employee, the defendant in this case, had in fact taken lottery tickets without paying for them. She showed that same surveillance video to officers when they arrived, and they confirmed her analysis of the video that it was the defendant in this case taking the lottery tickets without paying for them. When officers approached this defendant, she stated to officers and admitted that she did take the lottery tickets, and she stated that at that time, her reason was because she has a gambling addiction and was sorry about taking the tickets. However, we are concerned about this defendant's risk of reoffending in this case, because at that time she did work there. This defendant, although remote, relevant to this type of incident, does have a deposit account fraud conviction from 2002, a theft by taking conviction from 2008 as well as being wanted for larceny. So we do have some concern for risk of reoffense and flight risk. Due to this, we're going to ask that the $2,000 surety preset bond remain as set, that she stay away from this BP gas station, that she take a theft class and have no further violations of Georgia law. Nothing further from the state.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Michelle Galvin is 46 years old. She has spent in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 25 years. She has 2 children, Your Honor. We are unopposed to the stay away At the incident location, Ms. Galvin obtained a GED, and she, of course, lost her job as a result of this incident. Your Honor, at this point, these are allegations. Today, we're denying these allegations. I am requesting a signature bond on Ms. Galvin's behalf, given her the convictions for theft, Your Honor, I believe are just too remote for the court to consider. She does not have the means to pay much, if anything, toward bond. We are opposed to the theft class and would reserve that for if she is convicted of this offense, Your Honor. So we're requesting a signature bond, and if Your Honor determines that she is ineligible, then I would ask that the bond be no more than $1,000. Thank you.
All right, at this time, Ms. Galvin is going to receive a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. She must stay away from the incident location at 9165 Roosevelt Highway, and she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense at this time?
Nothing further.
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Galvin. Who do we have next?
Judge, anyway, we
Position
can
20.
position 21.
I'm sorry?
You have a private attorney on the line, Mr. Scott Smith, for position 21.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lewis, for letting me know. Is it possible for us to go to position 21?
I have position 20 in front of me. Position 21 might be in courtroom 2.
Is it possible for us to go to position 21 in courtroom 2?
Yes, he's here. Position 21, Mr. Searcy.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Searcy. Your case is 22 CR 003983A, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of January the 16th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Searcy, third arrest, 2019 DUI conviction, 2018 DUI arrest. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Miss, whose case is this for the state?
It's mine, Your Honor, Ms.
Falk. I'm used to that, Ms. Falk. It throws me off. All right, Ms. Falk, what is the state's recommendation for this case?
Your Honor, and the state's recommendation on this case is a $3,000 surety bond to stay away from 6755 Hill Rock Lane and no further contact with the victim. The victim's name is Artisha Holston. That is ARTISHA, Holston, HOLSTON. We would also be asking for no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a one-day anger awareness course. In this case, this occurred on January 16th, and she and Ms. Holston and the defendant, who are fiancés and reside together and share a child together, had a conversation where the defendant became jealous of how well Ms. Holston was doing in her life. He became angry, began throwing items, and approached her from behind when she turned away from him and punched her in the eye, leaving it swollen shut. Ms. Holston has stated that this is the first time that this has happened, and also that she cut her foot on some glass because the defendant was throwing items in the home as well. We do have some serious concerns with kind of the nature and the sudden violence of this incident, as well as his previous history of alcohol abuse. And so for those reasons, we are requesting that $3,000 surety bond and the conditions as stated. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Judge, just a few things to review with the court. What we are asking for is a sign-on bond or unsecured judicial release. $3,000 is no issue with us. He has no issues not having contact with the alleged victim in the case, but they do share a minor child who's 1 year old. The client is actively involved in the child's life. So we ask that the bond reflect that he had no contact with her directly or indirectly, except for purpose of having contact for their minor child. We do object to the anger awareness class. We ask that that be reserved. Should client be convicted, we think he has a robust case on his end. Verifiable employment, has a great job. He works for an ice maker company. I have the name if the court wishes to hear it. Born in 1994, as the court heard. He has 2 misdemeanors on his record, both for DUIs. No failure to appears. And I will be the attorney throughout the pendency of the case.
All right.
And he'll live with he does have verifiable address as well with his parents. And that's in Talbotton, Georgia, which is down near Alabama border. He graduated from high school, lived here all his life. So he's definitely going to appear in court.
All right.
Your Honor, the
I'm
state
gonna-
is agreeable to a third-party exchange of the child. Excuse me, Your Honor. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna sound for the victim at this time, Ms. Holston. If Ms. Holston is present on the Zoom conference and wishes to be heard, this is your opportunity to speak. However, you are not required to make any statement.
And Your Honor, my understanding from the notes from our victim advocate is she said she did not intend to be present.
All right. Thank you for letting me know that. All right, at this time, Mr. Cersey is going to receive a $3,000 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Holston, and he must stay away from the incident location at 675 Hill Rock Lane. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that surety bond. And his case will be reset to the SAP calendar on July the 5th of 2022, whereby this can be revisited at that time.
Okay, no contact whatsoever, Judge, even for the minor child?
They can arrange transport of the child through a third party.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. And the state drafts the bond, or does Ms. Lewis draft the bond order?
I believe, I'm not sure who drafted. That's a good question. I'm sorry, Ms. Lewis, go ahead.
Bridgewater will be drafting the order.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Thank
already
you.
had it ready.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you, everybody. Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Good to see you, Ms. Lewis. Thank you, Judge, for everything.
If that concludes your business, Mrs. Smith, you are free to go.
Thank you. Good to see you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you,
take
Honor.
care. I believe that will conclude your case, Mrs. Cersey. Best of luck to you at this time. All right, who do we have next?
Next case, position 20.
Okay, position 20. Are you Antrika Ross?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ross, your case is 22 CR 0039882F, in which you're charged with one count of theft by shoplifting with the offense date of June the 18th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
So fourth arrest. Last arrest was 2020 aggravated assault. 20 CP 1955888. So that's open. 2019 battery family violence arrest. 2010 battery simple battery. Cruelty in the first degree. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Is this your case as well, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, Ms. Falk.
This incident occurred on June 18th of this year at 2750 Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway Northwest, the Dollar General, when the defendant and her preteen 12-year-old daughter entered the location, and the defendant took $100 of fragrance plugs, placed it in a handbasket, and ran out of the store past all points of sale. The state's recommendation in this case is a $1,500 surety bond, that she stay away from the Dollar General and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. The state's real concern here is, just to be honest, the fact that she drug her 12-year-old child into this situation. Had she entered the store by herself, you want to destroy your own life, that's your business. But to drag your 12-year-old child into it is quite frankly reprehensible. That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Falk. Who represents Ms. Ross?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Ms. Ross is 30 years old, and she has been here in Georgia all her life. She has one child who is 9 years old, and she's not married. She's a single mother. She does not have parents. Her mother recently deceased, and she has a sister, but she's very younger sister who is still in school. So she is the sole provider for the family, and she's self-employed as a hair braider, stylist for the hair. And she's been doing that for about 15 years on and off. Ever since she was 15 years old, she had to provide for herself. She graduated from high school. We believe that we would like to ask for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give her a signature on bond, we would like to request for the very low surety bond of $250, Your Honor. Thank you.
Your Honor, And my apologies, I also omitted that on that 21 CP case, excuse me, that 20 CP case, that aggravated assault, she's out on a $15,000 good bond. So we do have concerns about a risk of reoffense, and she already has a good bond and has now violated again.
Excuse me, that was this.
Don't, Miss Ross, don't say anything. You don't want anything that the state says to be used, I mean, anything that you say that you'd be used against you by the state. All right, thank you, Ms. Falk, for that point of clarification. Ms. Kim, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, Ms. Ross is going to receive a $500 surety bond. She is to stay away from the address on Donald Lee Hollowell Parkway, and she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that $500 surety bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Ross. Who do we have next?
Position 15, Judge, Mr. Nolan.
Mr. Nolan, it's been a long time calling. Good afternoon, Mr. Nolan. Your case number is 22 CR 003979J, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of May the 29th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Stand by one moment.
I'm hoping it's a brief moment.
He
I'm putting it in the chat. That's all. It's gonna be shorter than the breakout though. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say he's probably entering the history, Your Honor.
All right, there you go. All right, he got 19 total. Last arrest was 1994. Possession of a firearm.
Okay.
By the feds. So, and
1994. All right. Thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred at 4773 Greenbriar Parkway. The victim in this case is the defendant's present spouse, Miss Wendy Nolan. Wendy is W-I-N-D-Y. Nolan, same as the defendant in this case. In this instance, Your Honor, Mrs. Nolan called the police about her husband attacking her. What she indicated to officers was that they had been in a verbal dispute turned physical. She wanted him to leave, so she went to the closet to help him to start packing his clothes. He did not agree, became very, very angry, Your Honor. He pushed her onto the bed and began to strike her several times over the back of her head and in the back of her body, leaving visible bruising. She was pinned down to the bed initially, and until she was able to get away from him, she could not call the police. She did eventually call the police. However, when she called the police, her story had indicated to them that she no longer wanted to, they could cancel the call and that nothing had happened. However, she stated that it was stated in the police report that Mr. Nolan returned to the house with their daughter, and the daughter advised that she called the police because of bruising to her body. She stated that she believed that at that time, her mother had become sort of delusional. She was transported to Grady, and pictures of her injuries were taken and attached. I just wanted to state for the court that this victim in this case has vehemently admitted that she will not participate in the prosecution of her husband. However, the state has a serious concern for the risk of reoffense in this case because they are married and live together, and the risk of reoffense, Your Honor. Given the history as stated by Pretrial in the chat, we are concerned, and given those facts, we are requesting a bond in the amount of $3,500 surety. No further contact with the victim in this case. We were not able to speak to her since she made that statement to the police. So we're concerned for her safety, and out of abundance of caution, we'd ask for that no further contact. A stay away from the incident location, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further violations of Georgia law. Nothing further from the state.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Nolan is 70 years old, and They are actually separate right now. He does not live with Miss Wendy. He is currently staying with his brother at a different location. So he does not oppose to stay away from the incident location where his current wife resides. And also he says that they have not had any contact, so he's not also opposing to no further contact either. They have 4 children, but none of them is minor. So they have been married for the last 29 years. He has been retired and he also has a part-time job. And his education was 12th grade at the high school. And we would like to request for a signature on bond, as he is recommended by pretrial for unsecured judicial relief. And his last arrest was 1994, Your Honor. Thank you.
Clarifying that, Mr. Howard, can you confirm he's recommended?
And if I may, Your Honor.
Yeah, they recommend it, but I mean, I defer to you.
I know you deferred to me, but I wanted to know if was he on the recommendation list? No, yes.
He wasn't on my list, but he was recommended on the bond assessment, correct?
Okay, all right, thank you. Ms. Duncan, yes, very briefly.
I was just going to say, Your Honor, that even though this defendant is recommended, we have a serious concern for the safety and intimidation of this witness, given the facts in this defendant's history.
I understand. Yes, I got you. Thank you. I appreciate your advocacy, Ms. Duncan. All right, at this time, Mr. Nolan, let me sound for Wendy Nolan first. Miss Wendy Nolan, are you present on this Zoom conference and wish to be heard? All right, hearing none. At this time, Ms. Nolan is going to receive a $3,500 surety bond. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Nolan, and he must stay away from the address on Greenbriar Parkway. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, the condition of this bond.
Thank you.
Is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further from the state.
All right, thank you. Best of luck to you, Mr. Nolan. Who do we have next?
Position 19, Reynolds.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Reynolds. Your case number is 22 CR 003981Y, and once you're charged with theft by taking with the offense date of June the 19th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
First arrest.
All right, thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Your Honor, this offense occurred on the 20th of this month at the Plato's Closet in Alpharetta. The address is 10506 Alpharetta Highway. A call was dispatched to the officers in that location in reference to a verbal dispute. Once officers got on the scene, Your Honor, they spoke with a Miss Jessica Johnson, who is the owner of that Plato's Closet. She stated that the individuals with which she had had her dispute had now left the facility. The incident arose because in previous days, Ms. Johnson had seen 2 individuals whom she could identify taking clothes out of bins that she had put behind the store or in the back of the store. And she indicated that those individuals had come back to the store on that occasion and began a dispute with her and left. Additionally, Your Honor, the Ms. Johnson indicated to officers when the warrants were taken out that those individuals had actually came back to the store again, and that the defendant in this case was actually found in the back of the store. At the time officers arrived, she recognized him, well, Ms. Johnson recognized him, due to his distinctive features in terms of his hairline. And Ms. Johnson noted to the officers that while he was in the back of the store, he was wearing clothes that were taken out of the bins on previous occasions. In this case, while we understand that this is this defendant's first offense, we have a concern about the risk of reoffense in this case, given the fact that he came back to the store several times after actually taking those items, Your Honor. And so for those reasons, there is already a preset $2,500 surety bond. However, the state is going to ask that that be reduced to a $1,000 surety bond, that this defendant have a stay away from the incident location, which is at Plato's Closet. No alcohol, drugs, and weapons, no further violations of Georgia law, and have a theft class. Nothing further from the state.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. David Reynolds is 31 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for last 18 years. He does not have any children, and yet he has a mother and sister here in Georgia, and he has a job at Red Lobster. He has been working there for the last 5 months, and he graduated from high school. And at this point, he does not have a phone yet, and he does not have enough funds. We would like to request for signature on bond, since pretrial services are also recommended for unsecured judicial relief. And if the box was left outside of the building, if you didn't have a clear mark that says this is free, or do not take this, people can take it as a misunderstanding that it could be abandoned or trash. People make mistakes. Your Honor, this is first time. We would like to request for a signature on bond. Thank you.
All right, at this time, Mr. Reynolds is going to receive a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. He must stay away from the address on Alpharetta Highway, the Plato's Closet location. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
22 Vale.
Sorry, what's his position?
22 Vale.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Vale. Your case is 22 CR 003984E, on which you're charged with 1 count of DUI, less safe, 1 count of driving on an expired tag, and 1 count of fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, each with the offense date of June the 21st. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Second arrest, last was 2009 out of Texas for evading arrest.
All right, thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This happened on June 21st. Defendant was actually seen on Chafin Road in his 2016 F-150. His tag came back with expired registration. The officer activated his blue lights and began to follow the defendant. The defendant failed to stop and actually proceeded on Chafin all the way to his residence at Oak Knoll Way. When asked why he refused to stop, the defendant stated because he wanted to go home. Officers smelled the strong odor of alcohol on the breath of the defendant and asked him to step out of the vehicle and perform field sobriety testing. And the defendant showed multiple clues on the field sobriety test and then was placed under arrest. Although the defendant has no history in Georgia, as pretrial has stated, he does have that kind of a charge analogous to fleeing outside of the state. For those reasons, we are asking for an increase from the current bond of $2,500. Additionally, we added the charge of fleeing and eluding for the defendant failing to stop when being blue lighted and essentially going on a slow speed pursuit all the way to his residence. So we are asking for a $2,000 surety bond on the DUI, a $2,000 surety bond on the fleeing and eluding, and a $500 surety bond for the registration, for a total of $4,500 surety bond. We are further asking that the defendant not be permitted to drive without valid tags or registration, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Mr. Vale is 40 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for 8 years. It has been quite a bit of time to have a permanent residency here in Georgia, and he also works as a director at property management company ever since 2018. For the last 4 years, he worked for the same company continuously. He also has an MBA, and he does not have any other major issues. And last offense happened 2008, almost 14 years ago, Your Honor, and he is recommended for a signature on bond, and we would like to concur with pretrial service recommendation and ask for signature on bond. Thank you.
All right, at this time, Mr. Vale is going to receive a split bond. It's going to be a $2,000 surety bond on the DUI and a $500 surety bond on the fleeing of and eluding for a total of a $2,500 surety bond. And then he's going to receive a $500 signature bond through the jail on the expired tag. So his total bond is $3,000, of which $2,500 is surety. He is to not drive without valid tags or a valid license issued by the Georgia DDS. And he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either party?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Vale. Who do we have next?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 27, Williams.
That case is going to be no pros. So we don't need to address that case today. Essentially, sir, the state is going to dismiss this charge against you, Mr. Williams. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Your
if
Honor,
we don't,
oh,
yes, go ahead, Ms.
I
Hall,
did
yes.
not mean to interrupt, Your Honor.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
The defendant still does have felony theft by shoplifting and possession of drug-related object charges. Those are still going forward. I just wanted to clarify, we are only dismissing the misdemeanor theft by shoplifting.
Only the case that would have been before me today, Mr. Williams, case 22 CR 003987H is being dismissed, okay?
So what is my bond now? You know, they told me to ask.
No, I don't have your felony bonds before me. I don't have that information. As to this case, this is dismissed, so this case is no longer holding you in the Fulton County Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, does that answer the question at courtroom 2?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Williams. Who do we have next?
Position 6, Mr. Cantu.
Okay, Mr. Cantu, your case number is 22 CR 003974H, and what you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of June the 17th. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
5 total. Last arrest was back in April. Failure to appear. On probation for battery DV. 21 CR 006493E as in Edward. Got a 2020 suspended license, no low. 2016 driving without a valid license. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. For the criminal trespass, we're asking for a $1,000 surety bond. The conditions is that he stay away from the incident location, the Roswell Creek Apartment Complex, 1000 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. That he have no drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on June 17th, 2022, a Detective Craig of the Roswell Police Department was contacted by witness David Hernandez, who is the property manager at Roswell Creek Apartments, 1000 Holcomb Bridge Road in Roswell. Mr. Hernandez advised that the defendant, Anthony Cantu, and a female had returned to the apartment complex and were captured on camera standing in front of the 801 building. Both defendant and the female subject were given a criminal trespass warning on June 9th, 2022 to stay away from the entire complex due to them not living on the property. And the defendant and female subject were also suspected of squatting at the property. Another reason why they were given that criminal trespass warning. Based on the video evidence and the prior criminal trespass warning given to the defendant, the detective had enough probable cause for the arrest. The defendant was arrested, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, we're asking for that $1,000 surety bond because this is not his first offense. He has 4 cycles on his record. Not to mention, he just had a failure to appear back in April, and he's on probation currently right now for a battery domestic violence charge case. So for that reason, Your Honor, we do feel $1,000 surety bond is reasonable for this matter. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 24 years old. He has a 7-year-old son, Your Honor, that he is involved in his life. He tells me that he's not currently working and he is in fact homeless. He is looking for a job. He did not complete high school, Your Honor. He told me he got as far as the 9th grade. Essentially, he just doesn't have anywhere to live, and that was the issue. He was trying to stay there. At one point, he had actually been staying at that complex, and he and his girlfriend were there together, Your Honor. And that is the basis on which this charge came about. I would ask the court, considering his means and the nature of the offense, to give him a signature bond, Your Honor, because he's not in a position to pay for bond.
All right. At this time, Mr. Cantu Davila will receive $1,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to stay away from the address on Holcomb Bridge Road, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
Nothing further from the
Nothing,
state.
Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Don't go back to that apartment complex. Don't even go near it. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Judge, he shows 2 charges of criminal trespass. It's only gonna be 1?
There's only one before me today. Is that correct, Ms. Bridgewater?
Yes.
Or
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I NOD'd that charge earlier this morning, and I sent the jail notice of that, along with the document that states that the state had NOD'd the second count of criminal trespass, and they were also relayed on Odyssey, Your Honor.
okay, so that charge shouldn't show much longer then, and he
Okay.
should be free on that one.
Thank you.
All right.
It's
Best
already
of luck to
posted
you,
on
sir.
the booking screen. I see it.
All right. Who do we have next?
Position 9, Felix.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Felix. Your case is 22 CR 003988E, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery family violence with the offense date of August the 9th of 2021. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
No, can you explain it to me, please?
You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of the case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this proceeding. Do you understand those rights? I just recited them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
His second arrest. He was arrested 2 days ago for driving without a valid license in Gwinnett.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on August 9th, 2021. Officers spoke with Taryn Posey, that is Tauryn. Posey is the last name, Posey, who stated she was speaking with her mother, Candace Posey. She stated she was assaulted by the defendant, who is her mother's boyfriend. They all live together in the same residence over at 215 North Avenue, apartment 1315 in Atlanta, Georgia. Ms. Posey stated that when the defendant came in, he became engaged in the verbal altercation. He pushed her to the floor and struck her several times, which resulted in a knot to her head and injuries to her arms, forehead, and ear. The state's recommendation in this case is a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Taryn Posey, and a stay away from that location at 215 North Avenue, apartment 1315. And actually, my apologies, we retract the stay away order. We do have the indications that the victim, Ms. Posey, is no longer living with her mother anymore. However, she did state that the defendant has overstepped boundaries on more than one occasion, and that the argument became physical due to the actions of the defendant and him striking her. So we are asking for that surety bond based on that.
All right, thank you. Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 24 years old. He has no criminal history at all. He is gainfully employed. He tells me, Your Honor, that this adult child of his girlfriend attacked her, and he was merely trying to defend his girlfriend, Miss Posey, Candace Posey, who is on the Zoom, Your Honor. He did not strike the complaining witness at all. He actually was just trying to stop her from hurting our mom. And that is essentially what happened, Your Honor. This happened in August, almost a year ago. They have no contact. So, and that is their home. He and Miss Candace Posey's home, so there's no reason for any kind of stay away. My client is a good candidate for a signature bond, Your Honor, and I would ask the court to consider giving him that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is Torrin Posey on the Zoom conference? I understand that Candace Posey is present, but I'm sounding now for the victim in this case, Miss Torrin Posey.
She's not on the Zoom call.
Okay. All right. Well, as Miss Torrin Posey is the victim here, I don't believe I'm going to hear a statement from you at this time, Miss Posey. All right. All right. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
Your Honor, the state only asks that if Your Honor is inclined to give a signature bond, that you give anger awareness.
Understood, Ms. Falk. Ms. McLeod?
Your Honor, I don't see a need for anger awareness at this time. The incident happened almost a year ago. There's been nothing further, and my client was not angry at all based on what happened. He was just trying to defend his girlfriend, which any man would have done under the circumstances. She was being attacked.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McLeod. At this time, Mr. Felix is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to have no further contact with the victim, last name Posey, and he must complete the one-day anger awareness course. He is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either party?
Thank you, Mr. Your Honor.
Best of luck to you, Mr. Felix. I don't believe there's anything outstanding. Ms.
No,
Falk,
Your Honor,
anything?
nothing further.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right, that concludes your case, Mr. Felix. Best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
Thank you, Your
26
Honor.
Westbrook.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Westbrook. Your case is 22 CR 003986G, in which you're charged with theft by receiving stolen property and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer with the offense date of June the 20th of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
This second adult arrest, last was 2020, ag assault with a deadly weapon, armed robbery, hijacking motor vehicle, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. That's open. 20 SC 176974. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. On June 20th, 2022, officers responded to a domestic dispute at 908 Cimarron Parkway, that's CIMMARON, for an armed person with a gun involved in a domestic dispute. They'd actually received several calls to that location. The defendant was observed fleeing on a pink scooter, and he matched the description, particularly a reflective jacket or vest that the defendant who was seen in the domestic dispute was wearing. When officers tried to pull the defendant over, he failed to stop. He wrecked his scooter and fled on foot, and he was arrested. The scooter that he was driving was identified as stolen the day before from a Miss Diamond de los Santos at the area of 830 Moreland and 1100 Delaware Avenue. The defendant, when questioned as to how he received the scooter, stated he received it from a friend, but could not tell the police how he got the scooter, the name of the friend, or basically any information regarding how he came to obtain the scooter by any lawful means whatsoever. And so for that reason, he was arrested for theft by receiving and for the obstruction. We have spoken to Miss Diamond de los Santos. She stated she does not know the defendant. She stated the scooter had been parked in front of her apartment complex, and she uses the scooter to go back and forth to work. She also stated that the scooter cost her approximately $1,100. She will be emailing pictures to us. Apparently there is the scooter was wrecked in the accident, so there is some restitution that is going to be due there. We are trying to determine, based on video from the apartment complex, if the defendant is the individual who stole the scooter, because obviously, Your Honor, as you know, that would change the nature of our charges. I will say that the defendant is currently out on and I have never seen this before, a $60,000 pretrial services bond on the hijacking motor vehicle, armed robbery, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm case under 20 SC 176974. So the state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond. I think he's had what can only be described as the chance of all chances by getting a $60,000 pretrial signature bond, and has violated that by not only being seen with a stolen vehicle that was literally stolen the day before, but fleeing from the police when they tried to pull him over and stop him. So we are asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and no further contact with Miss Diamond De Los Santos. Miss De Los Santos actually requested the no further contact, because even though she does not know this individual, she does have concerns being that he was around her residence.
And the
All right.
victim is on the line, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Westbrook is 20 years old, and currently he resides with his mother, sisters, and nieces and nephews. He has been here in Georgia all his life, ever since he was born. He has one child who is 3 years old, and he's not married. However, his parents and siblings are here. And he has been working at construction site to build the sheetrocks for the last 4 months. And he completed up to 11th grade. And ever since then, he is currently taking classes at Fairfield to get GED. I think there's a misunderstanding. He was very nervous when he was arrested or by the officers. That's why he couldn't come up with a clear name. When I was asking him about that today, he gave me the name of the person that he was borrowing the scooter from, and he had no intention he didn't know that it was stolen, and he had no intention to flee from the officers. He was just getting very nervous. He's 20 years old. He did not want to get into any trouble. He also knows that there was another bond that he didn't want to be in trouble. So anyway, we would like to request for signature on bond for this case. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to ask for $250 surety bond, considering the fact that he is taking still GED classes and working full-time for a very low wage. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, Mr. Westbrook is going to receive $1,500 surety bond, $1,000 for count 1, $500 for count 2, for the total of the $1,500 surety. He is to have no further contact with the victim in this case, Ms. De Los Santos, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of this bond. Is there anything further from either the state or the defense?
No, nothing further, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Westbrook. That will conclude your case.
Position 25, Welch.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Welch. Your case is 22 CR 0039858, in which you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass with the offense date of June the 21st of 2022. Do you understand your constitutional rights?
I do understand. I do comprehend my constitutional rights.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mr. Howard?
35 total between Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, and Illinois. Last arrest was last month. Unlawful possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. That appears to be open out of Chicago. On probation in Fulton County, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. 19 SC 167744. They gave him 4 years probation in 2020 for that.
All right. I think that's good. Thank you, Mr. Howard. That's good. I think I've got it. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This one is fairly straightforward. Yesterday, the defendant entered the trackway at 1055 DeKalb Avenue, the MARTA station at that location, in violation of a sign that says no trespassing high voltage. Unauthorized persons are subject to arrest under criminal trespass 16-7-21. So they literally spelled it out for him. He entered that area and was in the trackway area, at which point he was arrested. The state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond. Normally, we do not recommend this high of a surety bond in criminal trespass cases. The things that concern us about this defendant in particular is the sheer volume of cycles that he has. And more importantly, the fact that he has cases out of, I believe it was Illinois, Indiana, and there was I believe, one more jurisdiction. So he has got cases out of multiple jurisdictions, and a recent case in May of 2022, as pretrial pointed out, in Chicago, Illinois. So that shows very few ties to this community. So we do have concerns there. He also has some probation violations, the most recent one in 2018. The state is recommending that 2000 surety stay away from the MARTA station at 1055 DeKalb Avenue, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Just for the court certification, we did check that address is in Fulton County. It's right near the line, but it is not over the line.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Welch is 36 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for 14 years. He has 5 children, and one is coming very soon. So he's married. So he has a strong ties to the community, and also he's been working as a sous chef for restaurants for the last 18 years. And he graduated from high school. He also says that he has a college education up to sophomore. The concern that he has is right now, because of his wife expecting to give a birth, he's the one who has to take care of 5-year-old daughter who is legally blind. And also he himself is visually impaired. He's not declared as a legally blind, and he claims that he did not see the sign or warning sign. There was no suspension he has ever received before. He never had a previous warning from the MARTA. So this is the first incident with the MARTA. We would like to request for signature on bond. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of all these open cases that he is presumed to be innocent, we would like to request for maximum of $500, $250 good bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, Mr. Welch is going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He must stay away from the MARTA station at 1050 DeKalb Avenue, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that surety bond.
Your Honor, can we
Excuse me,
say
I only have one open case.
Please, Mr.
I'm
Welch.
sorry, Ms. Kim.
Mr. Welch, you have a right to remain silent. Let's exercise your right to remain silent to protect yourself from incriminating yourself.
Ms. Kim, what was you were Mr. Welch, for a second, please be quiet. Ms. Kim, what was you were beseeching me? Ms. Kim, what were you saying?
My concern was he's using MARTA to go to work. So can he be specifically avoiding that one particular station?
That one particular station is all.
Thank
yes.
you.
Not all of MARTA. Mr. Welch, you really should listen to your attorney who has advised you to remain silent.
I really can't take that in consideration right now. I have a wife that has an anxiety issue. She's taking medication for this.
I don't want you to say too much,
Mr. Welch.
Mr. Welch, you're gonna say, I feel in my bones you're about to say something that's gonna end up being used against you. The state is listening, Mr. Welch. The state is listening.
I had no money. I have no money in my account whatsoever. I just had to get an extension on my phone and my lights. My paycheck, I get my paycheck next week. My wife needs me. My baby is due next week. And is there any possible way that I could be considered for a sign-on bond? I promise you, I'm right here in the community. I live 2051 DeKalb for 6 years.
Okay, Mr. Welch. All right. This is what I want to do. All right. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
You went into this MARTA station. You are not permitted to go back there. You understand that?
I only go there to go to work.
But you now you can't go there. You understand that, correct?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. The court. All right. At this time, Mr. Welch will receive $1,000 signature bond through the jail. I very rarely do that, Mr. Welch. Ms. Kim, and $1,000 surety is not a strict penalty here. I will adjust it this once. Do not go back to that MARTA station under any circumstances. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Your Honor, the state understands.
I understand.
I do, but we do ask that the signature bond be higher, because if he appears again, which given his history, I'm not sure this is the best bet. at least the signature bond will be high enough to keep him here if he does return again in violation. of that
That's
bond.
that's reasonable, Ms. Falk.
Thank
That's very reasonable. So what, Mr. Welch, you have beseeched the court as well as the state has beseeched the court at this time. It'll be a $5,000 signature bond. So if you return to that station in violation of the bond converts to a $5,000 bond. So I am strongly suggesting you figure out another way to get to work. Do you understand that, Mr. Welch?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Best of luck to you, all of you. And that will conclude this case at this time.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you, Honor.
Judge, we're completed here in courtroom 2.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, you too. Oh,
All right.
I'm so quick to leave. We got one more.
Oh, somebody's still
I'm so
here.
sorry. I forgot all about you, Mr. Blunt. Okay.
I thought that was our last position as well, which is part of the reason why that just took place. All right.
I apologize.
Who do we have next?
Position 5, Blunt.
Okay, Mr. Blunt, your case number is 22 CR 003973Y. And what you're charged with 1 count of fare evasion and 1 count of possession of marijuana with the offense date of June the 21st. Do you understand your constitutional rights? Yes, no, do you understand them? Oh, he's muted. Please just let him say yes quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
18 total. Last arrest was 2018, probation violation. Underlying charge was a suspended license. 2018 FTA. 2018 felony theft by taking, probation violation.
Okay.
So the
Thank
he has an open theft by taking in Superior Court, 18 SC 161.
You see anything violent, Mr. Howard?
I didn't even look.
Okay, well, that's, we'll go to Ms. Tortorello.
Yes, Your Honor. For the fare evasion charge, we're asking for a $1,000 surety bond. For the marijuana less than an ounce charge, a $1,000 surety, total of $2,000 surety bond. The conditions is that he stay away from the incident location, the MARTA HE Home Station at 70 Hamilton East Holmes Drive, Northwest in Atlanta. Theft class, no drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, currently he's being held with no bond on his felony theft by taking case 18 SC 161530. He was also just arrested for a bench warrant because he FTA'd on his old driving while licensed suspended case before Judge Fred Eady, where the judge imposed a $1,000 surety bond for 15 CR 012340Y. Your Honor, on June 21st, 2022, an unidentified black male, later identified as defendant DeJuan Blunt, pushed through a closed handicap gate without attempting to pay for the required fare at the HE Home Station in Atlanta. The defendant was approached by the MARTA Police Department and informed of the violation he committed on the eastbound platform. The defendant provided valid ID and a valid Breeze card with only 20 cents balance. The defendant had an active extradition warrant out of Fulton County for the felony case, Your Honor, that I just mentioned. The defendant was arrested. A search incident to arrest, officers found 8.1 grams of marijuana in the defendant's possession, and all these events did occur in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, this defendant does pose a risk of reoffending. He has 19 cycles. He also poses a flight risk. He's just been arrested for an FDA. He has a theft by shoplifting conviction out of 2018 out of Cobb County, a theft by shoplifting conviction out of Fulton County State Court. That happened in 2013. 2011 theft by shoplifting out of Douglas County State Court. His probation was revoked in 2018 in Clayton County. He has various violations of probations on his record. One occurred in 2016 out of Forest Park, 2012 out of Douglas County, He has FDAs, a 2018 out of Cobb County, a 2016 out of Cobb County, a 2011 out of Douglas County. Your Honor, given his record and what's currently going on with this defendant in this jurisdiction, we are asking for that $2,000 surety bond total with the conditions just stated, nothing further.
And does he have an active MARTA suspension?
The facts did not indicate that, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. DeJuan Blunt is 34 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He has 4 minor age daughters, ages 13, 10, 6, and 3. The 13-year-old actually lives with him. He is the primary caretaker. Mr. Blunt completed the 12th grade. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at the incident location unless there is a MARTA suspension in place. My client informs me that he does not have transportation and that he uses MARTA for work. He is currently employed at a staffing company and he is a forklift operator. Your Honor, we are denying the allegations today, and despite my client's history, I am requesting a signature bond given the nature of the allegations, and I just believe that he should have his monies diverted toward his other bond issues, and we will ask for a signature bond for these minor offenses. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, I would ask for a signature bond, a surety bond of no more than $1,000, and that would be $500 for each count.
All right, thank you. At this time, Mr. Blunt is going to receive a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to stay away from that MARTA station at HE Homes, and he is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond. Anything
Is that
further?
$1,000 on each charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Don't go back to that MARTA station.
Okay.
All right. We still have position 3 to do. Is that position not at courtroom 2?
Your Honor, I submitted a waiver of
Okay.
appearance.
Okay, so we are completed at courtroom 2. Courtroom 2 can be excused. Y'all have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have one question though, Your Honor. What about position, I don't know which one it is, but CRC J Dion, the last name is a CRC.
We did that position.
That was handled by Mr. Scott Smith, a retained attorney, Ms.
The
Kemp.
first one, I apologize.
No
No
problem.
problem.
All
Thank
right, let's
you.
go to the waived appearance. Ms. Banks, is she she would otherwise be in a medical, she would otherwise have been a medical reset, Ms. Gant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is she in quarantine and unable to appear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I understand. All right, Mr. Howard, can I have her history?
17 total. Last arrest was 2019 in Jefferson County, Alabama for drug trafficking. Got a June, well, she was arrested by the DEA for possession of heroin, 2019. What else? 2015 fade to appear shoplifter. 2015 probation violation. Fade to appear 2013. 2012 probation violation. 2012 shoplifting conviction. 2011 probation.
That's good. I got it. Thank you. Ms. Tortorella?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's asking for a $500 surety bond. The conditions is that the defendant stay away from the incident location, 3809 Boulder Park Drive in Atlanta. A one-day anger management, one-time police escort to get belongings if needed. No drugs or alcohol, no weapons, and no new violations of Georgia law. Your Honor, on June 21st, 2022, Lieutenant Ham and Deputy M. Hutcherson of the Fulton County Marshal's Department arrived at the incident location, 3809 Boulder Park Drive in Atlanta, to execute a writ of possession. Upon arrival, the officers knocked on the door and made contact with a Black female subject, later identified as defendant Laquila Banks. Deputy Hutcherson advised that they were at the property to execute an eviction. However, the defendant advised she never received notice of eviction. Deputy Hutcherson advised the defendant she did not have time to pack and that she get her son dressed and her cell phone. The deputy further advised an eviction crew would bring out her belongings. Defendant began to argue with the deputy and sat on the bed and refused to leave. The deputy attempted to escort the defendant out of the room and she pulled away. Deputy was able to grab the defendant, pull her off of the bed, and the defendant fell to the floor. Officer placed the defendant in an armbar hold because she was actively resisting. And once officer was able to gain control of the defendant, she was also placed in a kimura hold where she was handcuffed and escorted out. The defendant continued to resist all the way to the patrol car. The defendant was arrested, and these events occurred in Fulton County, Georgia. Your Honor, the reason for that surety bond is she has 2 cycles out of Alabama, 14 cycles out of Georgia. She did plead to an aggravated assault reduced to simple assault in Fulton County Superior Court back in 2005. 2019, she was arrested for drug trafficking, as you heard. Once arrest occurred June 5th, 2019 by the Birmingham Police Department. The next day on June 6, 2019, she was arrested again for drug trafficking in Alabama by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. She has various violations of probation. She was found guilty of violating her probation in Cobb County in 2011. Her probation was revoked in Cobb County in 2012. She's FTA'd most recently in 2015 out of Douglas Municipal Court, where she was convicted of the FTA. For that reason, Your Honor, we do feel a $500 surety bond, given her record, is reasonable for this case. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Laquila Banks is 45 years old. She has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area her entire life. She has 7 children, Your Honor. 3 of them are under 18 and 3, of course, live with her. While she is receiving some child support, it is not much. She does not have anything to pay toward bond. As we heard from the state, she was in the process of being evicted and she has not secured another residence. Your Honor, Ms. Banks completed high school. She also has 2 months of college and business. She is unemployed and has been so since November of 2021. She informs me that she is a stay-at-home mom. She denies the allegation. She states that she was basically manhandled while the police were there, and she does have video footage. Despite my client's history, Your Honor, I did not hear any recent convictions or any convictions for violence except for that remote offense in 2005. I am requesting a signature bond on Ms. Banks' behalf, and I would ask that Your Honor not grant a stay away, so that will give her sufficient time to secure her belongings, Your Honor, if she can even re-enter the property, being that this eviction process was in place. And if Your Honor is not inclined to grant a stay away, if Your Honor orders that stay away, I would ask for a one-time law enforcement escort to retrieve her belongings. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, I'm going to accept the state's recommendation. She will receive a $500 surety bond. She must stay away from the address on Boulder Park. She can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items that may still be in the location. And she is to have no weapons, drugs, or alcohol as a condition of that bond.
Thank you.
All right, is there anything further as it pertains to this case?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
All right. All right, I believe that concludes our entire calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, will you review it for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be July the 5th. Position number 1 is going to the SAP calendar with a $10,000 good bond. Position 2 is medically reset till tomorrow. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $500 good bond. Position 4 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 5 is reset further notice with a $2,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 6 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Position 7 is going to the SAP calendar with a $7,500 good bond. Position 8 is reset further notice. It is being reset further notice with a $4,500 total SOB through pretrial. Position 9 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 10 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. Position 11 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 12 reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 13 and 14 are being reset medically till tomorrow. Position 15 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,500 good bond. Position 16 was transferred to the DA. Position 17 is going to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 good bond. Position 18 is reset till tomorrow. Position 19 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through the jail. Position 20 is going to the SAP calendar with a $500 good bond. Position 21 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 22 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 total split bond. Position 23 and 24 are being reset till tomorrow. Position 25 is going to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 26 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 total good bond, and position 27 was null pros. Are there any questions, comments, corrections, otherwise? No?
All right, hearing none. I believe that we will be in recess until tomorrow at 2 p.m., at which time Judge Law will be presiding. Everyone have a great afternoon. Take care. This was quite interesting today.